Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for a review on the newly released Prime 1 1/3 scale Arkham Knight Catwoman statue. This is the exclusive version, so she comes with an extra head with the goggles down. I want to say a massive thank you again to James Irwin on Facebook for helping me get hold of one of these with his man out there in Hong Kong. Made it all possible. Thank you, James Irwin. Absolutely blown away by this statue. Can't wait to get into the review for you. I'm going to be intersplicing some photography against a nice black backdrop behind her and some nice lighting just to kind of really bring out the details. I think she looks incredible, and it's just a lot of fun taking pictures of her. It's the first collectible this big I've ever had the chance to do photographs with, and it's just been an awesome experience so far. I'm going to talk about this base. It's absolutely stunning, but it's the main reason I can't find anywhere to put this piece. It's a damn shame. So many places I want to put her, but I can't because of the size of this thing. I did a dimensions video and a few people were upset because I didn't do the depth, but it's the same all the way around. It's you know, basically 20 inches. You're going to need 20 inches of space in every direction. You know, a big 20, well, I'll measure it again for you and I'll show you how I do it, and hopefully that will rectify any problems with the measurements video. But just an absolutely stunning piece. I did put out a post on Rad Titans on Facebook asking if there's any questions you guys want answered or anything in particular you want to see. Go ahead and let me know and I'll cover it in this review. So I'm going to be checking my comments as I'm filming this, and hopefully I can cover everything for you and give you a nice comprehensive review. But I'll just tell you straight out of the gate, it's definitely something. If you can get it, get it. It's absolutely stunning. It's my first Prime 1 piece, and hopefully the only one, because they're very expensive and very big. Absolutely incredible. You know, just I had to have this one though. Big Catwoman fan, you know, as you can see. I just hope they don't make a Batman Begins Batman or an Arkham City Catwoman, because then I'd be really screwed. I'd have to get those ones somehow eventually, but those are the only things I'd be interested in. But this is good enough for me. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy this review. Let's get started. One of the things that really impresses me with Prime 1, and this being my first experience with the company, is the fact that it's a statue that you can pose in different ways, which is probably not a first. I'm sure maybe other companies have done that as well, but it's my first time experiencing anything like this. So you can interchange the 3 different heads. You can have the head looking this way, or you can have it looking off that way. I'm not too sure if you're actually supposed to have the head looking off that way, because if you look closely at the joint on the neck, it seems like it's not really supposed to do that, but it's not something that jumps out at you. I've been able to take photographs with the head, this head for example, looking in the other direction, and it looks perfectly natural and fine, and it just adds a whole bunch of different display options for her. Now, she also comes with 2 other arms, and those other arms are for holding on to her whip, which is over here. That has a nice thick wire or whatever it is. It allows you to do all kind of bends and poses. It's really good, strong wire, so you can do anything with it. So that's really cool. Did some cool photography with that earlier, which you'll see during this video. And just the fact that, you know, I'm going to see how many different variations of poses I can come up with the 4 arms, the 3 heads, and the fact that you can move the head in different directions. That's going to give you a lot of options, probably way more than I'm actually thinking in my head. It'd be probably quite surprising how many different looks you can get out of this statue. Now, my aim here is to try and show you the texture of the skin, because a lot of the photographs I've taken, you can just about make it out, but a lot of the time it looks quite washed out. As soon as the light hits the skin tone on this statue, it does tend to hide the detail of the skin. I don't mean to be crude and keep going down to her cleavage. It's just there isn't much skin on display here. You've got the head sculpt, the neck, and then the cleavage here. So I just have to go where I need to go in order to show you texture and paintwork. But as you can see, it's not just flat. There's all kinds of little, I don't know what you call it, just the surface of the skin, man. Layers, like a translucent kind of resin, or I don't know how they did this. Again, it is my first Prime 1 piece, so it's new to me, but as you can see there, let me just zoom in, turn down the brightness. You can see there, definitely not just flat. Look at the work on the scratch. Look how neat the lips are. The eyelashes, really, really well done. Incredible work. So I'm guessing this is the direction this head was supposed to face, but to show you how it looks when I face it the other way and you guys can see for yourself, I'll move around the head and you can see if it looks unnatural or natural. But let's just turn the head around now. So there is the head turned around, and as you can see, there's a little bit of the neck jutting out there. You see how it doesn't quite, there's like a distortion or an overlap or whatever you want to call it, but you can tell that's not connecting exactly how it should. So I'm guessing that is not what you're supposed to do, but you can do it. And from just regular viewing distance, especially from the front, you can't tell, really. I'm noticing a tiny bit of an overlap here as well. They're casting a tiny bit of a shadow, but we're getting really, over the top there. But that is an option. I'd say it is anyway. Does look cool. And you can do that with all 3 heads if you get the exclusive, because the exclusive is the one you need to get if you want to get the goggles down look, which I personally love. I'm actually surprised how much I'll be using this one. I think I'll be using this one as my main head, to be honest. Just has a lot more kind of aggression to it. Okay, let's take a look at the head sculpts nice and close up. I've got them on a rotating base, but I'm just going to do that manually so that we're not constantly looking at the back of her head. But you can just get a look at the back now. If you want to, you can see the way the hair meets the skin there is really neatly done. Also, I've got the Riddler's explosive collar around her neck there on display. Again, these bases that they give you to display the spare heads when you're not using them are just a fantastic idea and really well done. Now, as you can see, the work they've done on the face is incredible. It's very, very, very close to what we saw in the promotional pictures. As far as I'm concerned, they nailed it. Now, one thing about the Arkham Knight version of Selina Kyle is that she looks considerably younger than she did in Arkham City, the game before it. And that's not how time works. I don't know if that was just I don't know what the reason behind that was. But she's also a little bit toned down a little bit. Not quite as intensely, I don't know what the word is to use, but basically they did tone down the eye makeup. The lips aren't as red. It's almost like they maybe had some complaints from people saying that they've over-sexualized Catwoman in Arkham City, but I thought that was the most perfect version I've ever seen. But the next best thing would be the Arkham Knight version for me, but I definitely prefer the way she looked in Arkham City. The eye makeup, just the general look. She seemed like the perfect age as well. Catwoman's always better for me when she's in her 30s. And this version seems more like she's possibly in her mid to late 20s maybe. But great work on the eyes, nice and green, not quite as vibrant bright green as I would personally like, but they are just fine. The eyelashes really well done, eyebrows really well painted. You can see the scuffs on the side there on her cheekbone going up to the temple, and a scrape near her eyebrow. I probably will at some point in time, once I work up the courage, repaint the lips some more deep, like a ruby red, and put a nice gloss on them as well. And I'll let you know how that goes when I do it. So I'll just let that rotate once. Great texture on the cowl, if you want to call it that. Alright, now we'll change it out to the smirking head. And I think you'll agree, my head sculpt is incredible. Alright, here we have the neutral. Quite a plain expression. Really, really clean paintwork on this one. Again, that nasty little cut there on her eyebrow. And this must be from maybe where she fell, grazed herself on the dirt. Really, really impressive. And this cut on her cheek there. And the way the light coming from this direction just kind of bounces off the side of her face there. It just looks incredible through the camera right now. This is just so next level stuff, the detail. This is incredible, it really is. I can see why people get, really into the Prime 1 thing. I literally couldn't. I couldn't do it. It's just, well, I don't want to say they're way too expensive, because clearly you're paying, you're getting what you pay for, and then some, seriously. But it is, seriously, that's like the high-end spectrum of collecting, and this is kind of a one-off for me. But I think I chose wisely with my single Prime 1 purchase. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing. You see the back of this head. Again, very clean. This display base works an absolute treat. Very strong magnet, very stable. Nice weight to the base as well. Alright, now we'll change out to the exclusive head with the goggles down. If that's what you call them, you know, cat glasses, whatever. And on to the exclusive head. And I think this is definitely one of my favorites. You'll notice her brow right here is furrowed, like she's in full-on aggressive mode. And the look of the actual visors, or these red sections here, is a really nice shine to those. Again, paintwork on the lips, really, really neat. Just absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't know what else to say. It's a bit of a gush fest from me. And maybe I've got first Prime 1 piece syndrome. But I don't think the camera's lying to me right now. It looks amazing. So, that is the exclusive head, and I really am glad I have this one. I think I'll be using it quite a lot. Alright, so that is all 3 heads. Truly impressive work. We'll just give you guys a better look at this base. It reminds me of a chess piece for some reason. But it's made from the same stuff that the rest of her is made from. I'm not too sure whether that's like a polystone or something. No, I don't think it is. I don't know what it is, guys. I've got to be honest, but it's so heavy. Really strong magnet. And it's just a black felt underneath. Very nicely done. Nice weight to this. Really good paintwork on the 2 cat symbols. And yeah, just magnetizes like so. You can display your head however you choose. Let's get a look at the boots. Really nicely done. Different tones of, well, it's a lot of dark tones. Lots of blues, greys and blacks. But the buckles and the more kind of metal or silvery looking sections of the boots are really well done. And the texture of her outfit, it does look like real kind of leather or whatever her material was. And the glove and the kind of knuckle dusters on there, or the cat knuckle dusters, whatever they are, they're really, really well done. Got sharp claws. Really, really nice. I mean, it's just nice to be able to examine the suit. I mean, in the game, if you know it, you can actually go in and get a real good look at the outfits with the character models and just turn them around and zoom in, zoom out. So there's also an interesting kind of paint effect going on here. You see that? These kind of lighter dots. I don't know if that's just there to create some kind of illusion of depth or just more detail, or whether that's an accurate thing. I'd have to go back and check the game for that. It's something I could always do in a moment, but yeah, just to show you. And it does look worn as well. There's section of the suit that do look quite scuffed on purpose, obviously, and dirty and muddy. Let me just get in here. You can see on that shoulder there's definitely a few muddy scuffs. But overall, very, very impressed with the work on this. See, more mud. And just general, dirt and grime from scrambling across the rooftops. Very, very nicely done. Someone did just leave me a question asking, are the eyes made of acrylic or are they glass eyes? And I will just tell you, I believe they are just part of the whole sculpt, and they're just painted very well. They're nice and glossy, but I do not think these are glass eyes, because that would mean they're separate from the rest of the head, and I really don't think that is the case. I think they're just part of the sculpt. Now I'll just let you see the detail at the back as well, and incredible work with the wrinkles and the creases in the suit here, just where they should be. Look at the back of the knee, under her butt. Obviously you've got the wrinkles there, and just a tight fitting outfit. Again, don't mean to be crude, but people will probably want to see Catwoman's butt, so I'll do my best to show that for you. Michael Myers looking on rather creepily. What are you going to do? I was going to actually move him and put her over there where he's standing on some kind of wooden display base. That would have made sense, but then where am I going to put Michael? I can't put him there. I've got a little gap of space here, but you'd probably say, of course you can put him there. Yeah, but then he's going to get in the way of my... Yeah, never mind. Another talk for another time. But yeah, I can't find anywhere to put her at the moment. It's a real pain in the butt. But, oh yeah, speaking of butts, there it is. Just show you all the angles. Selena does her squats, and she's in great shape, as you can see. The pose is spectacular. I mean, obviously, like I said, she's capable of doing different poses, but just what they went with is perfect for her. Absolutely perfect. It's one of those perfect poses for a Catwoman statue. On the back here, you've got the Arkham Knight Batman logo here. Really nicely done. We'll get a closer look at the base soon. Just focusing on the figure for now. But let's get a bit closer. Let me just turn down that brightness a bit. And you can see that she's still got lots of scuffs and scrapes from her various encounters with thugs as she goes about her business. And yep, there's another little scrape there. And yep, like I said, with all the wrinkles where they should be. And awesome texture here on the suit. Really, really expertly done. Perfect job on the boots as well. They just look awesome. Great job on those. I love this hand as well. Puts you in mind of Black Panther. Awesome suit. Awesome pose. Awesome work on the hair there. Look how clean that is. No mess. That's where your money goes. Alright guys, now to touch on the measurements again, and I did do a video previously, but it was my first time ever trying to measure a statue, and I didn't really realize about the whole, I'm supposed to do it depth wise. So I'll do that again for you. Now this is the only way that she can stand on the base. 1 foot goes into the base, with a socket, and then the other foot has to rest somewhere where there's space for it to do so, which means it has to be facing this direction. It's the only way it can be done. So depth-wise, these two corners here will be up against your wall, and this bit facing outwards will be facing outwards on display. So you'd really be looking at it from this view at the front. But let me just check the depth of it now, and I hope I'm doing this right for you. So yeah, tip of the nose, that's the thing that sticks out furthest. Her arm does not come out further than the cat's head, and you're looking at about 16. Now I said 20 before, which is way more than you actually need, but you would need at least 17. I'd say 17 inches depth, 18 to play it safe, but I hope that helps, guys. She's 31 inches tall, including the base, and if that's the depth, then that would be a 17 exactly, or an 18 if you want a bit of nudge room. Now when you are not posing her holding onto a whip, you can have it displayed on her side there. You can just remove that, attached by a magnet. It's nice and strong. But if she is holding a whip, then you would take the empty version, again stuck on there via magnet, and that's how that works. Nice detail on that, very nicely painted, no problems there. The coiled up whip looks more like something made out of metal, or it doesn't look leathery like the bendable posable option. You know, this looks like an actual whip, whereas the coiled up version looks more, like I say, a totally different kind of material, but it just looks like it's painted to look like it could be made out of some kind of metal or something. But look at the brightness, rather high. Turn that down a bit for you. There you go. It's still really awesome. I do like it. I would prefer this rather than, you know, a coiled up version of this. I think this looks more appealing to me personally. But anyway, just to show you the difference between the coiled up and the loose posable whip. Okay guys, what I want to do now is go through every variation of the poses that I can come up with. Different arms, different head positions, different accessories. I'm going to start now, and I'll just change the pose, shoot it from this angle for a couple of seconds, move on to the next one. Alright, now all I've done here is change the head to face the other direction, and I also changed the jewel, the diamond, for a red version. Okay, so still pretty much the same pose, and I think I changed the jewel, but the main thing I did here was apply the Riddler's bomb collar. Now remember what I said before about when you change the head to face this direction and how you're probably not supposed to do that because you can kind of see where the joint doesn't quite work? Well, when you wear the Riddler bomb collar, that completely conceals that. So you can have the head definitely face in two different directions, and if you do decide to rock the collar, then it will conceal any distortion and it will look like it's meant to be. And I've just changed out the head sculpt and slightly turned her slightly more this way. That's another thing about this statue. Not only can you repose her with the different accessories, but you can just turn it slightly and get a fresh look. Now the skin on this head sculpt with the smirk has a slight, depending on how the light hits it, the light's hitting it from behind and in front here. Two LEDs, one over there, very gorilla style, nothing fancy. But it is creating this look on her cheeks and around her jawline there that make her look like she's possibly been standing in the rain, which is interesting. But that won't appear that way in just a regular, natural light in your room, be it daylight or lights from above. I think it is the particular setup I'm rocking right now. It's creating that look. Either way, it's just amazing looking. Very, very real. And just turn the head to face the other direction. Again, the Riddler collar hiding any distortion there that would give away the fact that it's not really supposed to be facing that direction, but she looks perfectly fine doing it. And there you go. Okay, now here we have the exclusive head sculpt with the goggles down over the eyes. We will have to get the exclusive version to be able to achieve this look. However, I do believe the exclusive is sold out now, so there's always the second-hand market, but prices are going to be pretty high, I'd imagine. But this particular angle, I think, works really well, holding up the diamond and with the exclusive head looking in this direction. I think that looks awesome. Let's see how it looks facing the other way. It looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Again, head sculpt probably not supposed to face this direction. You can tell when you get really close up. But just pop this on and it'll hide any distortions. Because I think that particular pose, looking away from the diamond, I think it looks really cool. Just show you how strong the magnet is. Just popped in there, and it's really, I mean, it pulls it away from you, and to get it out again, you've really kind of got to, I can't do it one-handed, I don't want to mess about with this, it's way too expensive, but it's a very strong magnet, so you have no worries there. Same goes for the heads and the way they attach. Strong magnet. Now moving on to the arm that can hold on to the whip, and the bendable posable whip. Obviously I have still got this arm on, that has not changed. Obviously this is the only thing that's really changed. And I've posed the whip, wrapping around her body, going down the torso, down the thigh, down to the boot, and then onto the ground there. And that's the kind of thing you can do. That's what takes something like this to the next level. And with the light just hitting her suit, bouncing off the back of her head there, it just looks fantastic. I wish I could just display it like this all the time, but that would look a bit weird. The desk is obviously, you know, you got to do what you got to do to achieve the shot. You know, that's how they did it in the 80s. Looked incredible on film, but if you just move a little bit to the left or the right, you see some funny stuff. So she looks incredible though. Wow, absolutely amazing. That might be one of the final poses I leave her in. I'm sure I'm going to be changing the pose pretty regularly for the next few months. Definitely in love with this piece. We're in our honeymoon period right now, and I will be posing her regular. But that looks fantastic. Agree? Disagree? Let me know. Light up that comment section. Same pose, just with the head facing the proper direction it's meant to face. That again looks absolutely incredible. Those black velvet curtains, and that's what they are, black velvet curtains to match the black velvet capes on the Christopher Nolan Batman figures. It's crazy. Same pose, different head. This is the smirking head. You'll all be getting this one. It's only the goggles down look that you won't be able to get unless you get the exclusive. But again, same pose with the whip. Really liking it. You could slightly pull out that whip there and have that hand kind of holding it maybe. But I like to see the claws on that hand. I really like this option with having the whip here, because obviously you're supposed to probably use this arm. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Stupid ass. Yeah, you're supposed to use this arm to hold on to the other end of the whip, but I like this option, you know, mixing and matching the arms to create your own vibe. And that is awesome. That is absolutely friggin' awesome. Same thing again, just with the head sculpt facing the other direction and the Riddler collar to conceal any distortion. Absolutely. Well, maybe not so much this particular setup. I don't know. I guess you could say, do you know what? You see the way that leather strap on her neck is going across like that? That would not be there. If that head, you know, was meant to be facing that direction, then that would be much more in the middle. To have it going right across there, that's a bit of a dead giveaway that it's not supposed to be facing in that direction. I still think it looks cool, and I still would display her like that if the mood struck. Same pose with the kind of neutral expression head sculpt this time, facing the right direction, no Riddler collar. That is very nice. Alright, now I'll just show it facing the other direction, and then we'll change that arm. And we'll get a whole set of new poses for you. And that's how it looks facing the other direction with the Riddler collar. Pretty good. I think I preferred it the right way around. Alright, let's change out that arm. Alright, so I switched out that arm, got her holding onto the whip. It's nice, but I kind of prefer how I had it before with the whip going around the leg and the other arm in place. Let's turn that head around, get it facing the right direction. Okay, looks pretty good. Gave the statue a bit of a turn as well. Do like it better from this angle. I like the, you could pose that whip better to have, more weight to it. We still kind of got it in half of the pose from before. A bit lazy there. Only really posed the bottom end of the whip. But I like the way it kind of drapes over her hand and falls down. I could do that better as well. So, you could take a picture from this angle or around this angle and make it look like that arm is in place. Because that is a totally different arm position holding onto the whip there, the handle. And it's a totally different position from what she's meant to be doing. But the magnet is so strong that you don't even have to have it. I mean, look how far out the joint is. It's not even remotely in place, but from certain angles you could take a few pictures and make it look like that is how that's supposed to be. Obviously, it's just how strong the magnet is. It's supposed to go in that direction. Alright. But I gotta say, man, the camera's not doing justice. I mean, I'm sure it looks nice, but I mean, this is definitely, I always kind of wonder about that. People say the camera doesn't do it justice. With Hot Toys figures, I think the camera can do it justice, given the right lighting setup and the right pose, stuff like that. I think the camera can do those things justice most of the time. But with this, it's definitely not doing justice to the piece, really. I mean, maybe the close-up photography will show you, but to see it the way I've got it set up right now with the black backdrop and the light bouncing off it the way it is, it's incredible to see in person. Really, really incredible. And I just wish the camera was getting that across to you guys. But anyway, I'm going to move on now and tweak this pose a little bit. But this is a truly remarkable thing, man. It is an amazing piece of artwork. Okay, I think this looks really cool. I have kind of tried to make it look like she's standing on the whip and just stretching it out like there's a lot of tension. I've tried to make it look as tight as I can. It does still sort of dip out a little bit there. But I think that's a really cool option. The posability of the whip allows you to do stuff like that. That is really nice. Standing on the whip, keeping it, what's the word, taut? Tight? One of those. But that looks really nice. That is another option I might go with, because I really do like the exclusive head with the goggles down. It really does look very cool, very badass. She looks like she would mess you up. Ruin your day. I'm really liking the way this pose looks, so I wanted to turn the whole thing around and see it from this angle instead, rather than the black backdrop. I like the way the lights in the background there are kind of coming towards her back and bouncing off the shoulders and the head. It's quite cinematic looking. Alright. Now that is more than likely, I've already said it in the video once, but that could be the pose I end up putting her in for display, because I haven't seen it like that in any of the the promotional shots. I just think it looks really cool. The collection room has its queen. get a look at the base. As big and unruly as it is a stunning base. Incredibly sculpted, incredibly painted. Really, really nice. Surface, very well done. Get a little close up of the texture there. And the brickwork, the weathering, these kind of church windows. Very nicely done. Pipes. And another one of the cat heads, of which there are 3. So a very nice base. Just really big. Very hard to display this piece for me personally. Because of this base, I still haven't decided where she's going to go. Alright, she's back to the black background. And there she is with the smoking head. I really like the way that looks. So I don't know how many posters I've done so far, but it feels like a lot for a statue. About figures like that. They're basically statues. This is a statue, and it's capable of doing way more than I ever would have expected. So bravo to Prime 1. Absolute standing ovation on this one. I mean that. Same head, just removed the Riddler collar and turned it facing the right direction. That also looks really nice. There is definitely more, variations of the poses that I could show you, adding more to the number. The total count I haven't been keeping track. I've just been showing you what I've been coming up with. But like I said, very surprised at the amount of different looks you can get out of this statue. I just make sure that I give you a nice close-up of the bomb collar, just so you can see all the little wires and connections. And the text there saying explosive, very neatly done. This rotating base has taken a bit of a beating over the years, so it's not the smoothest surface. But there you go. I guess this bit right here is where you see the most detail. Little question mark 6 on the countdown, or whatever that was. Alright, very nice little accessory. Just get a look at these 3 different jewels as well as they go around here, just to let you see the quality of these. It's hard not to get fingerprints on them. I've tried to give them a little wipe, but they do feel real, so that's nice. I suppose they should do for the price point. Yeah, very nice. 3 different colors. I don't know where I'm going to display Catwoman. I will probably let you guys, you'll see that inevitably in time on the channel. Next time I do a tour around the room and stuff, you'll see where she is, if she's even in here at all. That's the problem. There is literally, I don't want to put her on the floor. It's, there's room for her there underneath these shelves, but you don't want something like that to be low down. You need something like this to at least be that high, preferably a tiny bit higher. But yeah, she's so heavy. I've started using this little towel here just to stop any major dents happening in the desk. But yeah, just absolutely incredible piece. Oh, and I will still bring you the True Light review, which I didn't do today because it was just so miserable outside. It was really overcast, very dark and grey. It just wasn't a day to be filming a True Light review, and this piece deserves a little bit of sunshine. Not too much because it'll wash it out, but just a little bit brighter than it was today. So look out for that True Light review, it's still coming. Now in the dimensions video I already did a little height comparison between these two, but just in case you didn't catch that, here you go. It's the Sideshow Collectibles Premium Format Catwoman statue next to the Prime 1. So that's 1/4 scale, that's 1/3 scale. So quite a sizable difference there. So I said I was going to eventually try and repaint the lips to be more like they are here. I repainted the eyes, the eyeliner, the lips on this Sideshow piece. Really happy with how they turned out. So if I could do it on that, I can do it on this. It's just a matter of waiting for the right day to attempt something like that. There you go. That's how that looks. Then yes, I have my old VHS videos, which I usually use just to make this higher. You've got, oh look at that, No Retreat, No Surrender, Batman Returns, E.T. in the big box as well, yeah. Gremlins 2 in the big box, Top Gun, Spider-Man, Moonwalker, hello, yeah, and Batman. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Some more down there too. Look at that, Cabbage Patch Kids, Ghostbusters 2, big box, Die Hard, Back to the Future Part 2. I've got more scattered around the place. Look, there's your Terminator, Terminator 2, Fight Club, RoboCop, animated series thing, Aliens, Predator 2. It's all on the channel anyway, guys. Check out the last room tour video. Take you around the whole thing. If you're into Michael Myers, I got you. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Just throwing in a few other Catwoman statues by different companies, just so you can see those as well. There's the Tweeterhead Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman statue. Stunning piece. And there we have a very small little Catwoman. I love that one. That is really cool. I love the pose. I think that's by, gosh, I need to actually double check. It's been a while since I've even thought about it, but I think that's Kotobukiya. Really, really great sculpt paintwork on that one. Check out the review for it on the channel. Alright. I'm on the floor and my knees just made the most unholy crunching noise. Showing my age. Ow. Well shoot, I might as well just show you the whole shelf, really. The whole Catwoman display. You've got various figures here. Let me just come around this way. That awesome Michelle Pfeiffer custom head sculpt there. Sculpted by Sean Dabbs. Painted by Miles Snyder. Amazing work on that. That's on the channel. You can check that out. Cool color version. They also did a black and white version of that statue. That's one of my favorite Catwoman statues. That's more of a Selena Kyle vibe going on. And there's the Cumic head sculpt. A really good head sculpt, that one. And just some Arkham Knight Catwoman figure. Pretty cool pose that one's in at the moment. Play Arts Kai, Arkham City Catwoman. Pretty cool pose for her too. She's just chilling, looking at her nails, her claws. And the Michelle Pfeiffer tweeter headpiece with an absolutely awesome base. That works really well if you have a Hot Toys 1/6 scale Michael Keaton Batman figure. Very nice accompanying kind of pose accessory for him. I forget who made this. I think that was Kotobukiya as well, actually. Nice magnet base. There's the Hot Toys Dark Knight Rises. And the CoverGirls, the old original CoverGirls, Adam Hughes Catwoman statue. And there's the more recent CoverGirls statue there. The one you just saw by Kotobukiya. And the Medicom, no, is it? Yeah, Medicom Hush, that's the one. Medicom Hush Catwoman. Alright. There is more. There's more scattered about the place. I don't have room for all of them. There's the big NECA Catwoman over here. That's an awesome piece. Oh, and these two Catwomans right here. These are two of my prized possessions right here. Incredible. Repainted sideshow heads. Firesim bodies. Both heads have been professionally repainted. Absolutely stunning. Completing my DC ladies. Just messing around with a whip, trying to come up with a cool little pose. Kind of reminds me of the Sideshow Premium format. Well, I guess, I mean, with that one, the whip kind of can do whatever you want, but I tend to wrap it around her. It looks really good though. I like that. And then you could always turn her whole self around more this way and then have the head facing the other direction. And we get that from a totally different angle. But look at that. That is awesome. I mean, just the piece itself, really, the whip pose is whatever, but the actual, the statue itself, it just looks incredible, man. Can't stress it enough. This is serious business. Now I'm just going to zoom in and let you see the assembly instructions, and you can always pause it if you want to take a closer look, I guess. So that'll just tell you how everything's going to arrive. Sorry about the reflection there. Alright, now on the other side, it's just going to show you how everything attaches. So let me just get close, turn down the brightness, and you can see there. And you can always pause it if you want to. Okay, so instructions on this one, not too in depth, but it is relatively simple to assemble this piece. Got R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly going round and round in my head for the last 3 hours. Every time I'm not filming, I'm just walking around this room going, I believe I can touch the sky. Anyway, you didn't need to know that, but now you do. Okay, it's the end of the review, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts, and they are, I absolutely love this statue. It's incredible. I didn't show you every possible combination I did for the posing, so there's even more. And it's just a thing to behold. Like I said earlier, the camera doesn't do this justice. It's remarkable. Probably my only Prime 1 piece, so I you know, like I said, I think I chose wisely with this one. Don't miss out. If you can get this, then definitely do it and try and get yourself the exclusive. I don't know what else I can say. It was really expensive, and then I had to pay a hell of a lot for shipping. That's just how it is. And then I got the customs charge, and then the next day delivery. So all in all, you know, the figure was, well, the statue was like £1,000 from the website, 260 to get it shipped here with EMS, £90 custom charge, and then another £13 to get it the next day after paying the charge. But it was all good. I obviously, this is a really heavy thing, and that's just how it is when something's coming from Hong Kong. That's where I got mine. And again, that was thanks to James Owen for hooking that all up. But just remarkable. Absolutely so happy with it, and love this pose. That's probably hung in a rocker for a little while. And if I do decide to repaint the lips in the future, which I probably will, at least on one of the heads, then I will show you how that turned out. Just wanted to get a little bit closer for the end of the video, guys, just to give you a little last look at the detail on that suit and the way the light is just hitting off it. I did see someone say somewhere, is the whip too thick? I guess there's just different kinds. This is a particularly brutal kind of whip. If she was to lash back and hit you with this, she might take a limb off. But I'm really liking that pose where she's stamping on the whip there, and it's just nice and tight and taut. Very cool. Alright guys, well, let me know in the comments section what you thought of this review and what you think of this piece, if you intend to get it. How do you feel about Catwoman? I don't think she was treated too well for a good few years there, but like I said, the Arkham games really brought Selina Kyle back for the awesome character that she is. Very deep. Yeah, I'm a big fan. So yeah, great work by Prime 1. But yeah, I look forward to reading your comments. Subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notifications on the videos and you don't miss out. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram at DeanKnight333, Patreon if you want to help the channel keep tooting along. Really appreciate every one of you guys. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you found the review helpful. I'll see you real soon. Bye bye.